think in your original document that you have, it says yes for Chelsea. They actually don't offer it. And I think some folks, there's a lot of conversation and debate around, obviously, as you know, for pay to participate. So we didn't talk about that, but we wanted to include it because all the districts actually included it when they sent us. So their pay to participate, just so you know, is on top of this budget. So they get much more than this in reality. This is what the school allocates for them, on top of what the families actually pay to participate in that. So once again, we didn't delve into a ton on the actual financial implications of some of these, operationalizing it, but we just wanted to lay out some of the trend lines for the board to really be able to consider. So the last part is just service to community. And we really wanted to make sure we had this piece of service to community, not only for what it means for the academic kind of service learning of the athletes and giving back, but also what it means for the community and building a sense of community. So I just listed off a couple that came up, potential ideas. The athletic department, once again, would be really in charge of supporting, running, and getting and requiring athletes to do a certain number of service hours. So this Give Back, Move Forward was just a youth mentoring program, taking our high school athletes and teaming them up with middle school and elementary school students and having them doing tutoring and maybe even helping out athletically and some of those things. But a lot of folks are really interested in having the high school athletes really lend support to the lower levels. And then this community pride, I mean, Ypsilanti pride, I think was the first thing that came to people's mind, Ypsi pride, making sure that our athletic teams are participating not only in Ypsi pride, but maybe doing our own thing. Creating our own events, and we're actually going out and bettering our community, helping to build the community. And for people in the community to see that it's us that is actually doing it, and then respecting our seniors. There's a lot of conversation of just like with teaming up with the young people, teaming them up with seniors. Having the seniors, we do a snow shoveling thing in my neighborhood for all the seniors. And so actually having athletes do some of that in the winter, I think would be tremendous and get a lot of support. And then of course, making sure we keep that commitment to the Special Olympics. And having our athletes volunteering. There's a great program that they've laid out to talk about how you can integrate the athletes with the Special Olympic athletes and kind of have them as peers and mentoring one another, and they both learn a lot from it. So in the service to the community, it really is just this notion and idea that we will be doing service, and the athletic department really fosters that. Just briefly, laid out a couple things. I mentioned we haven't talked a lot about the financial implications. We hope that that's a part of what our next step is, and the board can see some of that. Pay to participate fees came up. Parent involvement, we really want to do some innovative stuff around parent involvement and how we use sports to get them there and to make that connection. We did some on the developmental years, but not a ton. Community investment and collaboration. Just like Eastern has a letter that is there, and several departments that are related to that. I sit on the board of the Ypsi Community Foundation, and when the board members found out I was participating in this, their first question is, how can the Ypsi Community Fund be a part of an athletic endowment for the district? Now, of course, that requires a lot of work and some legalities and things like that, but just the notion that they're interested in that, I think the sky is the limit in what the possibilities could really be. And there are many, many others who are interested. And then, of course, really fleshing out operationally, how would the Student Athlete Development Center really work? So real quick, our recommendations in general, kind of a synopsis, is really to affirm the values, beliefs, and expectations that are within that document. And although I didn't touch on every single one of them, there are quite a laundry list of values and beliefs that I think are contained within there. We really do want to recommend hiring a full-time co-curricular athletic director. Looking at accepting and utilizing those coaching competencies, create the Student Athlete Development Center once we can operationalize it. And one of the things we talked about is how do you kind of coordinate that? And, you know, athletic directors have some pretty good ideas around using one of the stipend positions actually just to help to organize it, but also using all the resources on the outside to really help to run it. Accept the list of recommended athletic teams, join the SEC conference, and then maybe to assign a work group to further explore those areas that were really identified as needing some more exploration. And then the last slide, just wanted to thank those people who have been a part of it and really to show and give credit to all the individuals that had input. And I'll just say that Derek Gregg, who's the athletic director for Eastern Michigan University, has been invaluable. I've sent him a lot of these documents. He's given information and feedback back. He thinks this is wonderful because why? It is a feeder system for Eastern Michigan University. And the same thing with several other kind of business owners within the community. The sheriff, who's my boss, looked at it. A lot of folks looked at it just from a strategic plan standpoint and really kind of setting that foundation for the athletic department moving forward. Last thing I have is we do this for a reason. We spend all this time for a reason. So one of the students, Levante, is here, and I just asked him to maybe come up and just say a few words in closing, because this is really why we do and put all the time and effort into this. So Levante, go ahead.
Well, I thank everybody for attending, really, just being here. My name is Levante Davis, as he greatly introduced. I'm involved in a lot of things at Ypsilanti High School. I'm a little involved in the basketball team. We just won regionals last night. Thank everyone for all the support. We feel really loved by the community, and we really do this for all you guys to make the community happy. I was involved in baseball a couple years ago, football this year with Coach, ran track with Coach Torn. I'm also a member of DECA. I'm the president of the DECA Club at Ypsilanti High School. The DECA Club is a marketing club where we compete against other students in the area in business role play competitions, where it really kind of sets you up for success in the future because you improve in public speaking skills. You improve in the major area that I see is interview skills, which we all as young people need to get jobs in the future. Also, it improves in just your communication skills and being able to know people and kind of feel people, and so that people can help you out and you can help other people out in the future. The DECA Club, I actually have two of my members in the back. We are actually going to a state competition this Friday. I personally had, I believe, the highest score in the county when I went to the competition. And I believe we fundraised approximately $3,000 from a budget of, I think maybe $64.29 when we started out this year. So, but that just shows, I mean, anything is possible. And that's one thing that I believe going to Ypsilanti Public School is, and living in this area has taught me growing up, is that when you can't look at things from a positive point of view, I mean from a negative point of view, I'm sorry, you have to look at them from a positive point of view because they help you to better focus your energy on things that can help you instead of hurt you. I could have sat back and said, well, we got $64, no one's going to the States. But when I qualified, I said my whole team qualified. So I went out, I wrote business letters to businesses across Ypsilanti, and businesses like Buffalo Wild Wings, the Ypsilanti Food Co-op, the Ypsilanti Foundation, they all chipped in, staff members, they all chipped in and donated, and that's how we got the $3,000. In my opinion, there are three kinds of curriculars at Ypsilanti. We have the academics, which we have National Honor Society, which I happen to be a member of, as well as senior cabinet. I'm the treasurer. And I'm also doing a senior project to help freshmen so that they can better themselves when they come into the school. Because when I was a freshman, I look back and I didn't really have any guidance. I didn't really know what was going on. So I was a freshman. I just thought, you know, it's high school. Yeah, I didn't have my head on straight at first. But I want to help I want to give back to the freshmen because the seniors gave back to me. So I want to give back to the freshmen so they can look back and say, well, hopefully it can be in every classroom. It's like the first video they see where this is kind of the stuff that you're going to see. You know, and kind of lay it out for them and let them know it's not all going to be easy, as nothing in life is. But the more you work hard and the more you try, the more likely you are to succeed. But as I said before, there are three kinds of curriculars. We have the academic, which I have National Honor Society. We have the co-curricular, which we have sports, and then we have the extra, which we have DECA. And I think that they all give you a part of life that you really need. When it comes to the sports, that's just my life right now. I love to play basketball. It's warm my heart. I'll be attending Northville University on a full ride basketball scholarship this summer. I really can attend that just to my coaches and how much they've worked with me and always told me, keep your head on straight and just follow the path, and you will always make it to where you want to go.